We welcome in a beautiful class now. It's class 537, our novice ponies, not exceeding 13 hands. Brioni Petrie will be our judge today.
Well, Lindsay, we turn our attention to the far side of the arena for class number 51. This is a Arabian derivative gelding over 15 hands. Congratulations to the winner. Catalogue number 1098, Miss Stephanie O'Connor, and Tess O'Connor's nomination of Fasta D.
Second place will be awarded to Rivendell Jamuka. It's catalogue number 1073, exhibited by the lovely Walsh family, Kay, Taryn and Alyssa.
Third place, catalogue number 1063, Moorlands Rafiti, exhibited by Scott Henry.
But Falster D, the winner today for our Arabian derivative geldings over 15 hands, and a lovely lineup of novice ponies making their way around to ring 3. Tim Dreverman.
Yes, Lindsay Douglas.
Big morning of show jumping.
Massive morning. We've got one class still to come here this morning, and it will be the EA Cup. And to all of you watching on at home, welcome here to the Sydney Royal Easter Show. Live stream started again. We've got another class.
Welcome to you at home. Why aren't you here?
Yeah, exactly. The only excuse you can have is if you've got an injury. What else could we give you?
If you're a long, long way away.
That's no excuse. Have you heard of Qantas?
If you are with child.
Okay, yes, I'll give you that. Well, if you have just joined us, we are coming to you from the McGrath Rural and Livestock broadcast box here today, bringing you all the action. First horse out into the arena, and we welcome the winner of one of our classes here this week, the Tom McDermott. This is the EA Cup. We'll also be awarding the David Asmus Memorial Perpetual Trophy for the best performed Section 1 horse. And we have Mr. Darren Gosha from Equestrian Australia, our CEO, here to present the EA Perpetual Cup for the owner of the winning horse in class number 857. First horse in the arena, Tom McDermott, and he rides Cooley Gangster. So the object of show jumping, to jump a clear round. Penalties are incurred with a rail down. Cooley Gangster, Tom McDermott. So penalties incurred if you exceed the time allowed. You alter the height or width of a fence. This is our Group A Section 1. This is an Olympic standard competition, standing at 1.50 m in height. Tom McDermott safely over the last. 84.71, time allowed 92 seconds, 84.21. Clear jumping, clear time. Tom McDermott sets the benchmark, says to our other riders, for other riders to keep alive in the competition, you must jump clear. Next out into the arena, we welcome Amanda Madigan, Diamond B Vivian, who are leading Group A Section 1 horse here last year. And Amanda is riding the lovely horse owned by Diamond B Stud.
Well, if you're looking to sell your rural property for the best possible price, the team at McGrath Rural are Australia's premier rural property and livestock network. 30 years of experience, regionally based local agents, setting a first-class standard for marketing excellence. They're our wonderful supporters here in the broadcast box.
They certainly are, bringing all the action from the McGrath Rural and Livestock Broadcast Box. Amanda Madigan. And B Beyonce, this horse's daughter, jumping in part 3. It's a wonderful thing about the performance horse world that you can have a top performance horse. We embryo transplant the embryo from a performance mare, put it into a surrogate, and that mare continues on. Well, 3 rails down, 12 jumping penalties, 86.90, 86.90, 12 jumping penalties, no time penalties, a total of 12 for Diamond B Vivian. And Amanda Madigan from Kalnura Heights, East Kalnura Heights, we welcome out now the one and only James Mooney. And James is riding this lovely horse by the name of KPH Cavatina. Owned by Jill Hawker, Rob and Vicky King, this 11-year-old mare known as Cav around the stables by Casiago. That Grace horse that Chris and Gabby Chugg campaigned for many years. And this is their first season on the World Cup scene, so still relatively green. Green meaning inexperienced, jumping continuously. And one thing about Sydney Royal, it's one thing to have a horse that's jumped in a World Cup. That's one class. At Sydney, you've got 5 days of competition where you step out at a World Cup stage time and time again. Rarely do we get that opportunity in Australia. You want to go compete at a place like Aachen or over in Florida, well, that happens week in, week out. So a great opportunity for our riders to test themselves over international quality tracks. Come around, one of my favourite jumps. It was actually part of the Sydney Olympics. Oh, it took a flyer to the Harbour Bridge. Now our judge doesn't judge style, form, how well they jump the fence, even presentation, just whether it's jumped cleanly or the fence is knocked down. So you can do it however you need to do it. Get around this course. James Mooney. James, 2 fences left to go. We've got 1 clear round. Forces into a jump off. We need 1 more. James Mooney comes down to the final line. He comes down to the final fence from the Central Coast. 4 faults, 85.92, 85.92, 4 jumping penalties, no time penalties, a total of 4. Well, next out into the arena, Oaks Calypso and Brad Frankham. All right, Oaks Calypso, Brad Frankham make their way out into the arena. So Dr. Brad Frankham, our rider on course at the moment, President of Equestrian New South Wales, giving up his time back into the sport. On Dr. Brad, Oaks Calypso. Nicely over the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Wave planks falls to the ground. 4 jumping penalties. So at the moment, 1 horse on clear, 1 on 4, 1 on 12. Great progression of this horse and rider, stepping up to World Cup in the last couple of seasons. Brad Frankham starting to focus a bit more on his show jumping career, having been in the medical profession. The dock, as he's known around the stables, safely over the last, stops the clock, 90.24, 2 rails down, 8 jumping penalties. Just under the time allowed of 92 seconds. So, 8 jumping, no time, a total of 8. As we welcome out now, Stuart Jenkins, Fairview Alicana, Australian show jumping champion, awarded in November 2023. And he and his lovely wife, some of the driving force of the next major show jumping event on the calendar. The Lara Pinta World Cup coming up over the Anzac Day weekend. Fairview Alicana. Josie, as she's known around the stables, a 9-year-old mare sired by Fairview Aliquidar, which started its career with Stewie and Becky. The dam RSB Jacana also had its full career with Stewie and Becky. And Stuart trains with his lovely wife, Becky Jenkins. And when he's back here from the West Coast, David Dobson, a runner-up at the World Cup qualifier in 2023, 2nd place in the Brisbane World, 6th place at the Brisbane Royal in the Grand Prix there, and the leading young horse here at Sydney and Brisbane in 2023. Fairview, Alicana, and Stewie Jenkins combination in the arena. Well, if you have just joined us, all the action today coming from the McGrath Rural and Livestock broadcast box. With over 30 years of experience, dedicated to best-in-class selling and acquisition of rural properties. Thank them for their support of us here today. Stuart Jenkins. Would love to see a jump off here in the EFA Cup, the EA Cup today. Equestrian Australia, originally Equestrian Federation of Australia, shortened to EA. Not going to happen. Rail down. 4 jumping penalties. Safely over the last, 84.17, 84.17. 4 jumping penalties, no time penalties, a total of 4. So just the 1 clear round, 1 horse wins the class. Cooley Gangster, Tom McDermott, Fairview Alicana will fall into 2nd. James Mooney on 4 faults will use time there. An 84.17 and 85.92, so James Mooney in 3rd. And 8 jumping penalties to Oaks Calypso, Brad Frankham, Diamond B Vivian on 12 will be in 5th place. Well, that concludes the show jumping, and I was chatting to Lynelle Smith, Head of Entertainment here the other day, and her lovely daughter Courtney Barker has been a show person her entire life, because your mum has worked here for your entire life for the RAS, hasn't
Yes, she has. She actually was pregnant with me back in '98 when the show first moved out here.
And then you've been here ever since?
Ever since, yeah.
Now, no longer based in Sydney, and she was telling me, where in the world are you living right now?
I moved to Broken Hill last year.
And what are you doing out there?
So I'm a primary school teacher, and I moved out to Broken Hill to work in the distance education school that's out there.
So School of the Air?
School of the Air, that's right.
So you don't actually have your kids in the classroom?
No, they're all geographically isolated students, so that means they're all out on stations, which means it's too far for them to actually attend a local school face-to-face every day.
Just give people an understanding, how far is too far? What's the distance that you have in your remit that you teach? How far away from Broken Hill are they?
So if you think about it really, it's maybe about a 6-hour distance around Broken Hill, the radius, but that can be stretched depending on where the students actually live. So we have some students that are actually in Queensland, just past the border in corner country of New South Wales. Then we also have students that are in South Australia, so they're just past the South Australian border from Broken Hill. And then we have students that go all the way down close to Mildura, but still on the New South Wales side, and then central New South Wales, so Ivanhoe.
Now, my wife's a primary school teacher in the classroom, and so I have a little understanding of what she does and how it works. How do you keep kids focused, not turning themselves on mute, not turning themselves off mute, and run a classroom with them all stretched all over literally the countryside?
It's completely different. As any teacher will know, that one of the hardest jobs in a classroom is behaviour management. In our context, any strategies you learn at a face-to-face school are completely thrown out the window. So we do have expectations the students have, so keep their camera on, their microphone stays off unless called upon, things like that. But these students, it's the normal for them. They've attended the school since kindy, some even preschool. We have preschool at our school. So they don't really know anything different, and that's just the standard that they're used to.
Court, you grew up in the city. You're a city girl. I know you've got country roots because Mum with the show and the horses and the connections all the way through. But really, you're a city girl. You grew up in Sydney.
100%.
How have you made the transition from being in a city of 4.5 million people to a town of Broken Hill of, what, a couple of thousand?
Oh, it's about 18,000 in Broken Hill, give or take. But yeah, no, it's... I wanted to get out of the city, move to the country. I have seen that glimpse of the countryside with Mum and then also with my dad. And so I've always wanted to kind of dive more into that world. So I was very excited to get that opportunity to move out of the city. Granted, a long way away from Mum. I am an only child. She's not too happy about that, being so far away.
I can imagine.
Yeah. So it's been hard, but it's been so rewarding in so many ways. Broken Hill is a lovely community. They do get a lot of people that might fly in, fly out. That could be in the healthcare, for mining. So they're used to having new people, new faces in the community, and opening their arms. And there's a huge social world in Broken Hill, believe it or not. So.
Tell me, your mum was telling me, so I'm getting all the backstory, the camp you do on each station.
Yes, so twice a year, so one in term 3 and one in term 4, we call them mini schools. And mini schools is when we actually come together as a school community, and we might go out to a station if it has the resources to have up to 200 people, or we go to the showground that's closest to those stations. So last year we were in a station just out of Whitecliffs. And so, like I said, we've got about up to 200 people, which is staff, school, parents, even younger siblings or older siblings that can come along. And that's about 3 nights. And it's basically like it's a community camp, really. So we have the students during the day. We'll do things like PE, arts, things that we struggle to do over the camera. And we just really want to promote being together. The kids, they only really see each other maybe twice a week each term. So these camps is just when they get to have an absolute ball. We have meals together, big cook-ups, and then we all camp in caravans, swags. Sometimes the properties have places where the teachers can sleep, but not always the case.
Courtney, as a girl who grew up here in the city, you've taken on education, which I don't think teachers, get paid enough. I think you work so hard. I mean, my mother's a teacher, my sister's a teacher, and my wife's a teacher, so I'm a big advocate for the hard work that you do. But to go to a rural or a remote community like you have in that section, well done, and I can see how passionate you are about it, and what an interesting insight. And what's the best thing about living in Broken Hill?
Oh, I have to say the landscape, the absolute vast, the sunrises, the sunsets, the stars. I'm sure a lot of the people out in the stands get that where they're from as well, but people in the city, they just have no idea. Yeah, we've got the coastline, you might have to see a lovely sunrise or sunset, but it's not, they can't compare it to being out west. The sky is just so big.
How many hour drive back to Sydney?
So it's 14 hours, but add a couple more for stops and things like that. So we do that over 2 days.
2-day drive. Great that you could make it down. I know you're obviously in school terms only here over Easter this year.
Yeah.
Probably the shortest time you've ever spent at Sydney.
Yes, actually, probably only 4 days. That's the shortest period in my whole life.
Courtney, thank you so much for coming up to the McGrath Rural and Livestock broadcast box. I love that story, and I love the fact that you've made the transition out there. If you're in the grandstand, there's actually some great financial benefits if you are a teacher.
Yes.
If you want to go to a rural or regional area, my wife and I were only talking about this the other day with ourselves, but yeah, it's a great incentive, and school teachers don't get rewarded enough. So thank you as a parent and as the husband of a school teacher. Thank you for all the work you do, because you work so hard, even harder because none of your students are actually face to face.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me, and thank you for letting me share my experience with everyone.
Courtney Barker, ladies and gentlemen, one of our long-term members of the show family, now living in Broken Hill.
We head on down now to Ring 1, where we have the results of Class 52 in front of us now. It's catalogue number 1103, Serenity ES, that takes the win in our Mare and filly class over 15 hands. Congratulations to Madeline Lever of Moralia. Second place to 1044, Amy Gillette of Grossvale with Sienna Confetti. And third place to 1101, Bronte Dagg's nomination of EBL Lust. The win today to Serenity ES in our Arabian Derivative Mare and filly class over 15 hands.
Ladies and gentlemen, we make our attention now for the presentation of class number 857, the EFA Cup. Congratulations to our winner, Tom McDermott and Cooley Gangster, taking out first place, and the blue ribbon being awarded to Tom. Second place going to Fairview Alicana and Stuart Jenkins. Nearly got taken out there, Lindsay Douglas. Don't want that to happen. Or maybe some people do, I'm not sure. Third place to James Mooney, KPH Cavatina. Fourth place to Oaks Calypso and Brad Frankham. And fifth place to Diamond B Vivian and Amanda Madigan. Lindsay Douglas, a very special trophy that it goes accompanying this class. It is the EA Cup, or originally the EFA Cup.
Oh yes, it's being presented by Mr. Darren Gosha, the EA Perpetual Cup for the owner of the winning horse from this class. It is a beautiful piece of silverware indeed, retailed by Fairfax and Roberts. It dates all the way back here at the show for presentations to 1951, when it went the way of the Pearson and Williamson family's Seafarer. Over the years, it's been awarded to Kevin Bacon with High and Mighty, and Chichester with the Bacon family once again. It was the McVeans and McMahons in 1973 with Blue Gift. In more recent years, it's gone the way of Cornell, Dupreece, Diamond B Vivian, but Tim, this year, the new name etched
will be Tim Boland, because he is the lovely owner of this horse, Cooley Gangster. And Cooley Gangster started his career as an eventer. Certainly shows the prowess of a great show jumper. And in the saddle, he has one of the best in the business, Tom McDermott. And Cooley Gangster says that he knows his job, and his job is not to stand out here for presentation. It is to be a horse, and he gets out here and knows his job.
Well, Tim Dreverman, we head on down now to ring 3 for the announcement of our hack class for ponies. It's catalogue number 537, the class number, with our novice ponies not exceeding 13 hands. The win goes the way of 1081 Willowcroft Temptress with Lisa Crotty, Donna Langdon and Amanda Jeffries. Congratulations, Willowcroft Temptress, taking out our novice pony class not exceeding 13 hands. Second place to 1581. It's Mr. Timothy Hadlow's nomination with Del Jenkins of Dirigery Park, Macon Music. Third place to 1615 Wellbatch Pastoral Company with Grandchester Victoria's Secret. Fourth place to 2016 Highcroft Aristocrat, exhibited by Tanya Hutchinson of Rouse Hill. And fifth place to Sydney Martin's nomination of 2018 Wensbury Songbird Serenade. But the win today to Willowcroft Temptress with Lisa Crotty, Donna Langdon and Amanda Jeffries.
Well, the David Asmus Memorial Perpetual Trophy, awarded to the leading Group A Section 1 horse for 2024 by 1 point. Congratulations, Stuart Jenkins with Fairview Alicana, our leading Group A Section 1 horse. 1 point the difference between these two horses here this morning. And Lindsay Douglas, another very special trophy, the David Asmus Memorial Perpetual Trophy.
Oh yes, it was donated by David Asmus and Virginia Russell Asmus, first presented here in 2016 when it went to Congo Z. And the next year it was Clem Smith with Guru and Clinton Beresford with Emmaville Jitterbug. In more recent years, Diamond B Farm was successful with Diamond B Vivian. And David Asmus was a competitor at the Sydney Royal Easter Show for over 30 years, an accomplished rider and show jumper. He won Champion Gentleman Rider and Rider on Flat. He won many more show jumping competitions at the show, with his name appearing on several perpetual trophies, including the Bob Chittick Memorial, the EFA, or now EA Perpetual Cup, and the Kevin Burke Memorial Teams Trophy. In 1983, he represented Australia in the World Cup show jumping in Vienna, finishing 12th overall. It's a beautiful trophy, Tim Dreverman.
Most certainly is, and the proud recipient this year. Well done, Stewie.
Thanks very much, Tim. It's made me a little happier. I was determined today to put the daughter of a father of the horse that won a EFA Cup a few years ago. I thought that might not have been done before, but I missed out on that. So winning the overall leading horse is, yeah, fantastic. Green horse, first time in part one. Yeah, look, I couldn't be happier with her. She's done very well. I didn't ride so well today, but extremely thankful to her and Becky and all the help we get. Thanks very much to the RAS. Yeah, very prestigious to win this award. Thank you.
Well done. Congratulations, Stewie. A great job. I was going to try and talk to Tom, but I think that's going to, unless I want to take my life into my own hands. I think we'll leave it, Tom. Well done to all the connections. Well done. Tom McDermott wins the class. He takes home the EA Cup. A big thank you to Darren from Equestrian Australia for making his way down for this presentation.
We've been bringing you all of the action today from the McGrath Rural and Livestock broadcast box. They are the team that brings city sophistication and marketing skills to the sale of agricultural assets, broadacre farms, horticultural properties and equestrian studs. All over Australia, they're the go-to. They have local nous, local and regionally based experts. The wonderful team at McGrath Rural and Livestock bringing us our show jumping today. And what a special class we've seen with the David Asmus Memorial Perpetual Trophy now awarded and the EA Perpetual Cup. Congratulations.
Lindsay Douglas, I'm down here in the arena with Darren Gocher from Equestrian Australia. Darren, welcome out here into the main arena.
Yeah, thank you. It's great to be here. What a beautiful day. Yeah, great event.
Long-running history.